Greetings, Minecrafters. Good morning. Well, it's morning at this minute because I come up, I actually come up a lot of different times, but mostly really early in the morning, which is not only totally spiritual, but it also gels with my everything I'm doing at Champlain. So I usually come out, this is actually the weekend, but I also work on the weekends just because I love it so much. Okay, there's little G right there saying hi. Okay, my name is Kimberly Quinn. I forgot if I said that. And I'm excited today actually to talk about how to slow it down and also not live life through a frame. So you must be saying, or maybe you're not saying, I don't know. Oh, sure, but you're making videos all the time. You're living life through a frame. No, I'm really not. I love making videos, so that fills me up and over the top because I'm not making videos about just, I don't know, like stupid stuff. It's about life stuff. And the plan, hopefully this is what's happening, is that, in some kind of way I'm trying to spread positivity as far as it'll reach. And also, to help people really get a handle on their thinking, because when we get a handle on our thinking, we get a handle on how we're feeling, since thoughts come first and feelings come second. And then this leads to just living our best life. And so that is extremely rewarding for me. And it taps right into my sense of meaning and purpose and what I was put on this earth to do, which is to teach or educate, no matter what it looks like, no matter different contexts. And also tell people to see their value. So really what it's about is helping people to feel lighter, just in general, knowing their self-worth and feeling more positive and enjoying their lives, living their best lives. And that's really the mission. And so that is well worth it to me. Second thing is, actually, I don't mind filling you in on this. Thankfully, YouTube has a way to schedule videos. And so I do take days off, actually, which is what we're going to talk about. Screen-free Sunday. That is what we are talking about. And so I can do, when I'm feeling it's ultra inspired, which is a lot of the time, I can do 3 in a row and schedule them for later. So typically I have at least 1 week scheduled out in advance, sometimes 2. And then I'll take a whole day off, or maybe two off, or even 3 off from actually making the videos. And this also enables me to just feel the genuine inspiration. I'm not forcing anything. I come out here when I just feel like I've got something that people could benefit from hearing, and which is great. So just so you know, I do walk the talk? Yeah, walk the talk. I do walk the talk, and I shut it all down and spend time with the family, as those opportunities arise. Just so you know, I'm not a do as I say, not as I do person, because I don't like people like that, to be honest. Okay, so we're talking about screen-free Sunday, or pick a different day. Your work schedule might be different. And I do like to make movies sometimes on Sunday. But what I do is there's a limit, like it's like an hour. I'll come up here and go with G for a walk, and then that's over. The whole rest of the day, if I choose that it's Sunday, because it might be a different day, to be, or even a half a day. It doesn't have to be a whole day. Baby steps. And then I can do planning. Sometimes I'm doing planning for school because I'm just so excited. But that doesn't have to involve a screen. I can be sitting out on the deck. And often, in fact, I planned a brand new workshop called Spirituality, Meaning, and Purpose, which I'm so pumped about. And that involved a heck of a lot of reading, a lot of research. Just, oh my gosh, the work of Lisa Miller and the Awakened Brain. And anyway, all right, so I'm getting off track here, but that's okay. That's what I do. All right, so we're talking about Screen-Free Sunday. And I'm going to tell you about something. Gee, hold still. There he goes. I'm going to tell you about something that what actually came into my head this morning. In addition to a New York Times article I was reading about slowing it down, it brought me to actually a 4th of July, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I was invited, my husband and I were invited to this fancy 4th of July fireworks, thing. And it's not here up in northern Vermont. Typically, the fireworks is like a small town. I mean, they're just very sweet and very thoughtful, and it's the same. You kind of have to decide who's in the parade and who watches, because there's only like 1,000 people, and it's just so nice. It's like chicken barbecue, and the kids they throw candy, and the kids are all scurrying around to get the candy, and it's not fancy. It's wonderful and meaningful and enjoyable and all that, but it's not fancy. And so we went to this at a big resort that was just very bougie. You know what I mean? And it was spectacular. It was just different, but very spectacular. So they had a small orchestra, and they played the no, maybe it was America the Beautiful. Anyway, it was done, but classical music as the fireworks went off, absolutely spectacular, big food spread and everything. So what you're probably saying, where is she going with this? She's really short-circuiting today. Yeah, a little bit, but it's leading me to a good spot. I looked up, and people had their phones up like this, right? It looked like they were all saluting or something, like a ship was sailing off to sea, or I don't even know. It was just a crowd of people in that position. Some of them had those little sticks, like that hold the phone up here. I know, G, we're going to a sec. And it was just like, it was most people. And I thought, oh my God, you are living life through a frame. It's so ridiculous. And to have a frame-free Sunday, screen-free Sunday, is just a really good idea. Or again, pick another day, or pick a half a day, pick a third of a day, pick 3 hours, just to not live life through a screen. So I really wanted to share that, even though currently it's the end of September. As you can tell, the leaves are finally starting to change. I think the trees are starting to tell us something, or trying to tell us something. And it's not the idea to get preachy about climate change at this minute. But to talk about screen-free living. And it's interesting because I'm thinking to myself, I even said it to my husband, what are they going to do with that? Okay, they're taking a movie of these spectacular fireworks you could not reproduce in person. Like you could not reproduce that in a film, what it's like in person. And what are you going to do with it? Are you going to watch it later and say, gee, I'm watching the fantastic life experience I could have had but chose to miss, right? It was just, I don't know, just like so ridiculous. And then people sometimes will say, well, memory fades. Okay, memory fades. But is that such a bad thing, that memory fades? So what? But at least you lived. You lived the experience of those beautiful fireworks and all the effort, not to mention the gigantic amount of money, I'm sure, that went into it. But what a privilege. I felt so privileged to be at that fireworks show. Is just absolutely phenomenal with the music in the background and everything. And there is no way, if you watched it on, I don't care how, HD TV or how good here's the thing, the graphics can't be better, no matter how much money you spend on a device, than they are in person, right? So that is really what I'm talking about, is to maybe resist the temptation and just put the screen away. Put the screen away and enjoy what it is you're doing. And again, once I make these movies up here, little G and I walk. We have like a 1.5 mile loop that goes straight up and then obviously down. We sometimes do a different loop, which is way out where the bear are. So probably not going to do that right now because they're kind of moving around. But so I do the movie, enjoy it because I love making these movies. And then I do walk the talk. And he and I just go back there and we are mindful. We're taking it in. There are 2 little bridges back there. There are brooks underneath them. And we just sit and take it all in and breathe. He and I are really good at breathing. And that's it. So lastly, the other thing with the screen-free Sunday or screen-free whatever, is to find something that helps you slow down. So there's the not living through the screen, but there's also the just put it in your sock drawer. And one of the things that the New York Times was talking about this morning was good old-fashioned drawing. And the fall is good for that. Sit outside and just sketch nature. Even if you're urban, I'm thinking of Central Park, there's nature most places, even if it's a little different. It's maybe a little bit more restricted because it's, you have to go with parks and things like that. I'm thinking of the Boston Commons. That's also a really nice open area, and there's geese and swans and all kinds of beautiful things going on, beautiful creatures there. To really, immerse in that. And another part of the New York Times is talking about bird watching. Really anything that takes your attention or brings your attention into the present moment is all that matters. And drawing, I think, is fun. Any of the artsy stuff is fun. And I love art because it can't be wrong. Like you don't have to be great at it. It can't be wrong. You can just sit there and sketch. Bring out your inner 5-year-old. Go get a sketchbook and a pencil and go to it. Or the bird watching thing. If I can probably list 5 birds, and they're usually the ones on my back deck. But who cares? Watch them anyway. Try to figure out what they're doing. Or sit in, if you're urban and you can't find a much, too much of nature. Sit and watch people. Just stare at them. You're not going to see them again anyway. Who cares? And just slow that stuff down and commit to a screen-free day or a half day, or if it's real baby steps for you, you can say from 10 a.m. to noon. I'm not going to check email, and I'm not making fun at all, because I can know what it's like to be in a spin like that, and just feeling that need to be productive and everything. But 2 hours isn't going to make a difference, and I certainly know I don't want it. I don't think any of us want it on our memorial stones, never missed a minute of whatever it is you're trying to do, this is it. Life is now in session. So screen-free Sunday. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, beautiful Notch in northern Vermont. Have a mindful, slowed down, screen-free day.